Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prizepicks video. In this one, we're talking about the NFL season player props here on Prizepicks. We have 5 picks here about a week after the NFL draft to get into, so stay tuned to hear all 5 of the picks. Also, there's different lines and a ton more props on DraftKings, FanDuel, the other top sports books. If you guys are not on these, click that link down below. It's a website that gives you the best deal at the moment for all the top sports books. We'll also be referencing DraftKings in this one. And if you guys want more picks on Prize Picks, definitely check out the private Discord. We have 5+ cappers in there, including myself giving out picks daily. You can see a ton of picks being given out here for NBA, MLB, NHL, all sports. Getting some big wins over here in the MLB. NBA is going strong in the playoffs as well. You can see private Discord members hitting 6-leg parlays and a ton of slips on Underdog and Prize Picks. So definitely check it out. It's less than $1 per day to get access to those 5+ cappers for picks daily on Prize Picks for you guys to consider. So definitely check it out. See how we've been winning a ton of slips over there on Prize Picks. That'll be linked down below and the pinned comment as well. Let's get into this one. The first pick I'm going to go to is going to be Baker Mayfield. I'm going to go over on his season passing yards of 3,650 here. Baker Mayfield threw for nearly 400 more yards in last season. He just got re-signed to the Bucs for a huge deal. You know, he's their guy. He's got another year under his belt with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They're both back. Rashad White, a great receiving running back, is back. Cade Otton, the tight end, another great option there. All those guys are back. Should be even better than last season. He had a great year, obviously. Looking at his stats on ESPN, we saw him play all 17 games through for 4,044 yards. So definitely liking Baker here. Just got to hope he stays healthy in this one, but cleared this by nearly 400 yards. So liking Baker in this one with all his weapons back and healthy. Should be even better in my opinion. So liking him in a soft division as well. Going to have some juicy matchups all year. So that's going to be the first one. Then we're going to stick with the quarterbacks for these next 2 picks. For the next one, we're going to go to J.J. McCarthy. Under on his season passing yards of 3,125. For McCarthy, it's an interesting one because he's not expected to start right out of the gate. Most people that I've heard on, radio shows, talk shows, think he won't start until at least week 5, but if the Vikings are doing well with Sam Darnold, he could not start till the second half of the season, or if they're doing really well and like in playoff contention with Darnold, who they signed to a pretty big deal to be a bridge quarterback. He may never start, and then this is basically free here at 3,125 yards. What they've said is we're not going to rush his development. We're going to do what's best for the Vikings in the short and long term. People think that's code for Sam Darnold is our QB1. They gave Darnold a big deal to start, not to be a backup. So I think he's going to start, and especially, if they start out the season hot, I don't expect to see J.J. McCarthy for, more than like 11 or 12 games. So just playing on that narrative of him not actually being the starter, liking J.J. McCarthy on the under of this one. And then if we do look at passing yards, there were 18 starters last year that threw for more yards than that, but all of them except for Justin Herbert played 15 games or more to get to that mark. We even had Russell Wilson here play 15 games, throw for under this. Bryce Young under, Ritter, Fields, Dobbs in 13 games. And Gardner Minshew barely get there with playing 17 games. So I think that he should be good when in there, but just the question of how many games he plays. I would put the over-under at 11.5, and I might be taking the under on games played for McCarthy. So just based on that, I'm going to be taking the under on him for this one. Then we're going to go to another fellow rookie, the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. We're taking under on his passing touchdowns of 23.5. Somewhat of the same reasoning as J.J. McCarthy. I do expect Caleb Williams to be the day 1 starter. I think everyone does, but I think they're going to be very cautious with him because he is that franchise player, number one player drafted, obviously. And I think if he has any kind of injury, he'll sit out. I think the over-under for games played for him should be like 13 and a half. And these passing touchdown numbers of 24 are really high. We can come look for a rookie, most passing touchdowns in a season for a rookie season in the history of the NFL. Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, Daniel Jones are the only 5 quarterbacks to do that ever. Even CJ Stroud last year had one of the best rookie seasons ever for a quarterback, and he threw just 23 passing touchdowns in 15 games. Also, looking at quarterbacks last year, there were only 12 quarterbacks in the NFL that threw for 24 or more touchdowns. Guys like Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Howell, Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, all those guys threw for under 24 passing touchdowns. Gardner Minshew in 17 games. So 24 is actually still a good amount in the NFL here. And coming back over to DraftKings, if you guys are on the top sports books, all of them, basically you could bet on division winners. It's not like the Bears are expected to win the division or anything. They are third in the NFC North picked here. So, if the Bears are not in playoff contention, also, Caleb Williams could just sit the last game or last 2 games of the season as well. Also, Caleb Williams, if we look at his college stats, it's not like he had massive passing touchdown numbers last season. His last 2 games, he threw for 2 touchdowns combined. He had a game against Utah where he threw for 0. And in total, in 12 games, 5 games, he threw for 1 touchdown or less. He did throw 30 in just 12 games, but that's also college. Also, definitely skewed here by playing just some terrible opponents. Threw 4 against San Jose State, 5 against Nevada, 6 against Colorado in just an insane game. So, going to be going to the under on Caleb Williams. For the next one, we're going to go to a receiver here. We're going to go to Stefon Diggs. I expect Diggs to be the number 1 guy here. A lot of people are still saying, it could be Nico Collins, even Tank Dell as the number 1 guy. Tank Dell's had a rough offseason with that late season broken leg, and then also he got shot. So crazy stuff from Tank Dell, but he probably will be back full strength. But I still expect Diggs to be that number 1 guy in this offense here. Diggs is going to command targets, and if he's not getting them, he'll let you hear about it. Looking at Stefon Diggs, he had almost 1,200 receiving yards last year. He's been very healthy in his career. He's played 13 games in every single season in his NFL career here. Has only missed 2 games in the past 4 years, so very healthy, consistent. And you can see he's surpassed 1,000 yards in each of the past 6 seasons. We got to go back to the 2017 season when it was the last time that he didn't cover this 950 yards. So expecting a big year from Diggs here as the number 1 guy with CJ Stroud, who's expected to throw for over 4,000 yards again. Liking Diggs here, and I think just people are a little low on Diggs for a number 1 guy here. So I'm going to go over on Diggs. All right, for the next one, we're going to go to Josh Jacobs. Over on his rushing touchdowns here at 7.5. This is one that I like a lot, but this is actually even money over here on DraftKings. So if you're on DraftKings, you could take this one at even money. But I'm still liking this one on Prizepicks here. 7.5 touchdowns. Jacobs is a big touchdown runner here. Last season, managed 6 rushing touchdowns in 13 games in the worst offense in the NFL here, the Las Vegas Raiders. Still managed 6 touchdowns, 13 games. Season before that, 12. Then got 9 and 12. With the Green Bay Packers now, they paid him so much money. I expect him to get all the goal line work, all the carries here. He's going to have a huge season here in Green Bay. They have a pretty nice passing attack, it's looking like now as well, which is just going to open up running lanes for Jacobs. I'm expecting a big season for Jacobs. They're going to be going to him over on the 7.5 rushing touchdowns. If you guys want more picks in the private Discord, we have 5+ cappers posting a ton of picks and slips on all sports, NBA, MLB, NHL. So come check it out with that link down below and the pinned comment. You guys can see these massive slips on Underdog and Prize Picks that we're hitting. 6-leg parlays here hitting as well, so definitely check it out. It's less than $1 per day to get access to my picks plus 5 other cappers here in the private Discord. Also, if you guys are not signed up for the top sportsbooks, definitely click that link down below to get the best welcome offers on each of the top sportsbooks. They have a ton more bets on season-long NFL stuff, so definitely check those out. You can get a ton of free money over there. So we'll see you guys in the Discord and subscribe to the channel.